nowadays guys are being taught to be, for lack of a better word, pussies. Like they're being taught, be shy and emotional and tell your feelings. And
well, I think it's beautiful that guys can be emotional.
No.
No, they were wrong.
Okay.
That's where the tradition comes out of it. I think guy needs to show his emotional side. What happens with people is like they've been going for so long because they start to be dependent on their therapist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is not good. So that therapist should be like, listen, you start being dependent on me. This is the time when you need to leave. Well, I always say one thing, like I think it's so important for a woman to be independent when it comes to money. I think money is very important in a relationship. I think the root of all divorces, majority I would say, comes from not being financially stable.
So how do I make myself believe something that I don't believe?
Yeah, that's
like, do I just say it in the mirror 10 times every morning? Like,
that's a good point. Like, you truly have to believe in that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You need to be more open to that. I think with manifestation, things appear to you, and then it's up to you to take an action on them, if that makes sense.
Okay. So, like, what's something that has appeared to you?
This podcast.
Welcome to Unattainable. Glad to have you with us. I'm your host, Zach Evanson. First of all, thank you to all of our listeners out there. We've been getting a ton of growth and engagement over the last couple of weeks, and we got to thank you guys all out there for that. Today, we got a special guest on the show. This is Petra.
Hi, guys.
Petra, why don't you go ahead, introduce yourself to the audience, your name, what you do, and your star sign.
Well, hi, guys. This is Petra. I'm a model, and my sign is Sagittarius. Dangerous.
Yes, very dangerous. I have 2 intimate experiences with Sagittarius.
Oh, you did? It was good, right?
It started off good.
Okay.
And then bad for my mental health. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I feel you. That's what we do.
Are you? Have you been in toxic relationships much?
No.
In LA? No. You've avoided it.
Well, I'm married.
Okay.
I met my husband like maybe in about a year after I moved here.
No way.
So
You're an LA success story.
I was very lucky.
It's very rare.
Very rare, because I have a lot of single friends who are just like, Petra, this is insane.
It's
like it's so difficult to date in LA.
Yeah. And to be fair, I used to be a fuckboy back in my villain era.
Yeah, I can tell.
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I don't you just look like that. I'm sorry.
No, it's actually a compliment. I tell people that all the time.
Yeah, you look great.
If a girl ever went behind my back and said, Zach is the nicest sweetheart ever, he's such a great guy, I would take that as a huge insult. And I'd be like, stop talking shit about me behind my back. If she goes behind my back and said, Zach's an asshole, narcissist, sociopath, I'll be, keep spreading that about me, because in reality, that's more of a compliment these days.
I guess.
Yeah. But to be fair, when I was a fuckboy, I'm not like these amateur Gen Z fuckboys nowadays. I was a professional.
Well, how old are you?
What do you think?
I hate that question. I would say like 31-ish.
We're going to be good friends. I'm
Really?
32. Yeah.
All right. I didn't miss that much.
How old are you? You're very confusing.
What do you think?
Well, you seem like you're like mid-30s, but then you look like you're like...
Okay, that's it. I'm leaving.
You look like you're like 20 with a fake ID. So I don't know whether to talk about investing or like doing Molly at Disneyland. It's very confusing.
Well, I'm 30.
30.
I just turned 30.
Hey, you look young.
Thank you.
You take care of yourself for a white
But you
girl
first
very
said
well.
mid-30s, so what the heck?
In personality.
In personality. Oh, yeah, I'm very mature. That's true.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, and how much older is your husband than you?
Well, he's 20 years older.
20 years older?
Yes.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, well... Yeah, I always kind of knew that I will end up with like an older guy.
It's interesting. So when I owned the company in the modeling industry, right, we had something we called hot guy phase. And the new models, 18, 19, 20, always dating the young hot guy, little TikTok hair, dangly earring. We called them the clones. You can't tell them apart.
I'm allergic to that, but okay. Go
and
on.
It's interesting because when these girls, like the most beautiful models, when they were like, even by like 21, 22, 23, they'd always be dating some like normal looking dude. Maybe like a dad bod.
Yeah.
Like a dude, like if he put on a brown shirt and dropped off your UPS package, you wouldn't be surprised. You'd be like, oh, that makes sense. But it's always someone extremely successful, extremely charismatic, intelligent, mature, somebody who has their shit together.
Yeah.
You know?
That's smart.
Yeah.
You know, I always say I wish for every person in this world to have a relationship that I have. He's amazing. You know what I mean? Like I really wish that for everyone.
You cracked the code in LA somehow.
I did somehow. I got really freaking lucky.
How did you guys meet?
We met on a mutual friend birthday party.
Best
It
way
was
to
like
meet.
I didn't want to go. He didn't want to go. It was, I guess, meant to be. Yeah.
Nice. And then what originally attracted you to him?
Well, when we first met, like we sat down and we just had this long talk of like 2 hours. And I was just astounded. I was like, wow, he's nice. You know what I mean? Like I felt immediately.
Lie to me. It's not because he's nice.
No, it was absolutely that. I'm not lying. Like 100%. Like he just gave me that. He just gave me a nice vibe, you know? Like I felt right after him, like after that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, this is what confuses me. So when I was growing up, I was like very much the nice guy, simp, little. My parents are very like strict, like be polite and nice to everybody.
Yeah.
And I just got friend zoned and friend zoned by every single girl. Oh, you're such a great guy, just not for me.
Yeah, but
know?
I guess you didn't stumble upon normal girl then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But then when I became a fuckboy, all of a sudden girls magically have a connection.
But what kind of girls? Did you have
hot girls?
Hot girls, but did you have like relationships with those girls?
Some,
like,
yeah, some.
Like long-term relationships, like intimate, like real relationships?
Yeah.
You did?
With some of them. Most of them, no, I would say, but with some of them.
But you said you ended that stage now. Like you're kind of like...
Yeah, I've kind of matured out of it.
You matured out of it.
Third stage.
Well, you're 32, so you kind of had to, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, not really, actually. People stay fuckboys till they're like 40 in
That's
LA.
true.
As long as they're rich and funny,
That's
like,
true.
It doesn't really matter.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know. Well,
okay, so you meet your husband, have this great conversation. Then what happens next? He takes you on a date.
He takes me on a date on a motorcycle around the LA. That was his little move. And I think like after 2 months of dating, I think we started living together. It happened really fast.
I see.
We got married after 2 years. So we've been married for 3 years now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so was he your normal type, would you say? Or previous to that were guys like very different?
Absolutely not. So I only had like few relationships in my life.
Okay.
The guy before him was my long-term first love. He was totally different than Carmine, I would say, like look-wise. Like I usually don't go for blonde boys and with the blue eyes, you know.
We're the best.
Like I know, but like kind of always went for dark hair, dark eyes, you
Tall,
know,
dark,
yeah. So he's totally not but he became my type, I guess. You know, I don't see his look anymore, if that makes sense. Like,
what about height? Does height matter to you?
He's a bit taller than me. I mean, I'm tall, but he's around I think 5'10", 5'11", which is just enough. He's shorter than me.
You have to be like taller.
But I think that matters for women to feel like.
I agree with you. People think it's superficial. It's not.
No.
It's. The first fashion model I dated was 5'11", so 3 inches short.
How tall are you?
6'2".
Okay, that's good.
So with heels, it's like it's
it's
kind of
just
like
right
crossing
there.
that line.
Yeah.
And it was funny because she told me, Zach, you know, I used to only date NBA players, basketball players, because they're always super tall. You know what I mean? And she was like, yeah, I got fucked over so many times. She's like, the next guy I dated was like this 5'8" guy. I was like, I don't care about looks. I don't care about any of this stuff.
And what happened?
And she was like, Zach, on the third date, she had a couple glasses of wine beforehand. And he comes to her house and she opens the door. She's a little bit drunk. And she gives him a hug. And she said she picks him up and she spins him around.
Oh, gosh.
And watches his little legs flail out to the side. No. And she's like, Zach, in that moment, I lost all respect for him.
At that moment, she knew,
And I get it. It's like,
I
that
get
shit,
it.
like,
woman needs to feel like safe and kind of like smaller. You know what I mean?
There's two people that I used to feel sorry for. Short guys and ugly girls. I think it's really tough to be a short guy. I think it's really tough to be an ugly girl. But now I don't feel sorry for ugly girls as much anymore.
Yeah.
Because I went to the Abbey. Have you been to the Abbey?
Oh, love Abbey.
And I saw the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Tall, amazing body, face was perfect.
It was a man?
who's a dude? I'm like, if this dude can look this hot, I'm like, even any ugly person could just like make themselves hot. I mean, you have to have money to do it, well, but anybody can do it.
Good for her, I guess. You know,
but if you're a short
that's hard
guy,
to do. But if you're a short guy, that's tough. Yeah, you can always find a short girl though.
That's true.
Can't date a model. You know.
Well, you could. You could be a short one. Well, maybe not in the fashion industry, but interesting. Did you ever, being in the modeling industry, feel the pull to do like the Instagram or the OnlyFans or anything like that?
Immediate no to OnlyFans. Instagram, since I moved here, I kind of recognized the market and I was like, oh my God, it's all about Instagram. And that was like 6 years ago. And since that, I've been saying like, I need to work on my Instagram. I need to work on my followers. And I never do, which is, you know, it's just not my thing, I guess. I post once a month. I'm trying to force myself to do those things. It's just like, I can't.
It's not your thing.
It's not my thing.
It's a full-time job.
It's a full-time job, but it's also like I'm on the Instagram all the time. You know what I mean? It's not like I leave my phone for 12 hours and I'm not using my phone. I'm on Instagram all the time. So it's a little bit silly for me not doing that, but I guess. But I kind of like, I don't know. I think it's too late for me now. If I'm like in my early 20s, maybe yes, but I'm kind of over it now. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And you're like married and stuff, so I'm sure.
And I'm married and stuff, and I don't need to show off and stuff like that. Yeah. I guess, right?
Does success and financial stability, was that one thing that was attractive to you or?
Well, I always say one thing, like I think it's so important for a woman to be independent when it comes to money. I stand by that like 100%. I think money is very important in a relationship. I think the root of all divorces, majority I would say, comes from not being financially stable, right?
I agree. Yeah.
It's nice for a guy to have money, but it's more, for me, it's more for a guy to be successful in a way, to be like entrepreneur, to have that drive in him. That's more important to me than for him to have money, if that makes sense what I'm saying.
It does.
And then money comes with that, which is a nice little bonus. But I always come back to woman really needs to be independent and earn her own money.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, you never know. And it's just important for a relationship to be successful, I think.
I think that girls don't have to earn their own money, but if you don't, then you run the risk of being trapped in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Because you know, okay, if I break up with him, I don't really like him that much, but he's paying for a lot of stuff. What am I gonna do? How am I gonna, now I have to go work and get a job, and
especially in a city like LA, it's very hard. I know a lot of relationships who are like that, where the girl is just like, I can't because I don't earn enough money to survive here. So she decides to stay in a relationship that it's toxic or it's not good for her, you know.
There's something interesting that I see happen in LA where oftentimes there'll be a girl who's young and at age 18, her lifestyle is insane. She's going on private jets. She's behind the DJ booth. There's free everything, all these things, right?
Yep.
And so she becomes accustomed to this lifestyle. And on top of that, a lot of these girls do like the sugar daddy route, maybe OnlyFans, something like that. And so they're getting everything paid for. So they never really, oftentimes, especially if they're doing the sugar daddy thing, never develop a work ethic or a skill set or a career.
That's a huge mistake.
Because what happens is once you're getting out of your prime, all of a sudden these opportunities are drying up.
Exactly.
And you have the worst situation because you're used to this high level of your lifestyle.
Oh, yeah.
And you have zero skill set.
There's nothing worse than going from here to here.
Yeah, at least if you start here, you're just used to it.
Used to it.
Yeah.
I mean, people get used to everything, but it's very hard to jump from that to this. Yeah, I get it. I know a lot of people, a lot of girls who went that route, and it's just a mess because they end up marrying some rich old guy.
I mean, that's the only option at some point.
That she doesn't have any love for him, and but what's the point? Like, I would rather be in a happy relationship than in an unhappy relationship with the money. Right.
And it's tough too because So I get a lot of heat sometimes because I typically date younger girls.
You do?
Yeah.
Like how young?
Well, for a while it was like 19, 20. Now it's more, my wheelhouse is kind of like 23 to 26, which is probably like 8 years younger than me.
All right, that's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I had a girl on the other day on the podcast who was like, kind of like giving me shit for that. And I'm like, you have to understand, like, obviously people who are younger, you're just more attractive. That's just biological. We all get less attractive with the age.
Absolutely, yeah.
But even more than that, I find that oftentimes it's difficult to find a girl who is older and single who isn't jaded at this point and who doesn't have like very high expectations. Like if I date like a 21-year-old, literally I could take her to like Chick-fil-A and she's like happy. She's like, oh my God, yes, Chick-fil-A, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
Like if I try to take a 28-year-old to Chick-fil-A, she's like, we're not going to Catch. Like she's so used to things that I'm trying to tell her, like, what do you want me to do? Like, there's girls that I like their personalities better and they're better looking because they're younger. It's not like, of course 2 + 2 is 4. What do you want me to do? You know?
I get it, but don't generalize. I don't think that's true for older women.
Of course.
You know what I mean? Like, you got to look at the right places, I think. But if you like younger women, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's just whatever suits you and whatever you're good with.
Well, what do you mean the right places? You're saying like not the club, I'm assuming.
Well, I'm not saying that you can't find the love of your life in club. I don't think, but maybe you have better chances and I don't know, like through mutual friends or I don't know, in the restaurant or through even like I don't hate on Tinder. I've never been on those platforms, but I hate.
I hate on Tinder.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. It sucks.
Interesting.
It's horrible.
Is it?
Okay. The problem with these dating apps, I haven't used them in like 5 years. Oh, first of all, I never used Tinder. Obviously, I'm going to use Raya because I'm not, peasants.
Yeah. It's not for peasants.
And what happens is you have so many messages coming in. First of all, it's like overwhelming and you're like scheduling dates, you're double booking because some girls flake. You're like, it's like so much management that's it's just horrible. But on top of that, anybody who uses online dating has this constant stream of new people coming in. So like if I like, for example, meet somebody just in real life and like we hang out, maybe we hook up, whatever. Like it's like, yo, let's hang out like Wednesday. Okay, I'm down. And like usually I see her again. Online dating, it was like, you never know. Like you half the time you're in the bathroom on the date and then they have fucking Bumble pulled up on their phone and they're going through their other matches, like trying to set up their next.
Is that true?
It's very much, that's the environment because.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so no Tinder, no Raya.
Also, I'm not like good looking enough for like, if you're on Tinder and you're a male model, you're probably like slaying. Yeah. But like, I wish I was 6'5" and good looking. I can just get one tattoo and girls want to fuck me for no reason. But
don't think like that.
No, but I could find my.
You gotta think high of yourself.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
In my success. Yeah. In my charisma.
Don't think you're not good looking. Like you are for
No, but you don't understand these dating.
No, I get it. I have friends who are on Rayas and those platforms, and I see like sometimes I'm like, oh, let me see, like, because I've never been, and it's so exciting to me. But and I see what's out there. But I'm also thinking, like, what are these guys are up to? Like, are they just going through the girls, like, like, what is their goal? Like, I don't know.
Well, usually to get laid, but the minute that I knew that online dating was not going to be good was there was this girl, I was friends with her, right? And she was, I'm not trying to be mean, but she was not the most attractive girl. Like, she was like, like not that good looking. And I went on her Tinder and we were like fucking around. I was like swiping. And I'd swipe on some like hot guys, like six pack. She's like, why'd you swipe on him? I was like, what the fuck? This guy's super hot. She's like, no, he's not hot enough. I'm like, you're not hot enough. What do you mean? Oh. And it's just crazy. Like she had these huge expectations because guys will swipe right on like anything. You know what I mean? They're just like trying to get like laid so they don't care. And I was like, it's crazy out there.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm so glad I'm not part of that, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you dodged a bullet on the online dating stuff.
Yeah. Although part of me is like, I wish I went through that period a little bit. Like I wish I went through like LA dating a little bit. But then other part of me is just like, no, Petra, just shut up. Like you're good,
Yeah. There's a lot of the grass is always greener on the other side.
Yeah. Oh my God. 100%.
But you never had like the crazy phase where you go out, hook up with a bunch of dudes, party?
No, absolutely. I never had a one night stand.
No way.
No, I told you I'm boring. I never had anything like that.
That's
I mean, I've been with few guys, but I've never experienced that. No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that a Croatian culture or is that?
It's very much Croatian culture, I would
see.
say. Yeah, I think most of the girls from Croatia are like that. I would think so. Well, I don't know about new generation now, like girls in their early 20s, but my generation definitely, I think. At least all my friends are not like that.
Yeah, Russian culture, I think, is kind of similar. Like the Russian girls I talk to,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, like in Russia, if you take a girl out for drinks or whatever, it's like you're dating. Like you guys are dating right
that's
now.
official.
Like that, it's like official. Like you're not seeing other people. You're not like playing the field and seeing what else is out there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in Russian culture, especially in modeling, I think models love to get married fast and rich. I don't know. That's my experience with not all of them.
Russian culture is very much.
But I feel like I don't know. I just feel like that.
But I feel like girls should care about money. It's like It's like number one, like you were saying before, so many divorces happen because of lack of money. For one thing. Two. And I got into an argument with my mom about this, right? Because she was like, Zach, you're in LA. You're always dating some like actress, model person. Like you should go for personality. I'm like, Mom, okay, so you want me to date ugly girls? She's like, no, not ugly girls. Just like focus on personality. So I was like, okay, Mom, there are beautiful women with amazing personalities. And then there's like ugly people with great personalities. Like, of course, I'm going to choose the beautiful girl with the great personality too. Like, why wouldn't you want both?
I'll ask you in like 10, 15 years.
That I wouldn't want beauty as well?
Well, you just said that it's hard to find beauty and personality.
No, it's hard, but that's the ultimate goal.
Yeah,
for
of
sure.
course. Oh my God. That's, of course.
And I think for girls, it's like there's rich guys with great personalities.
Absolutely.
And there's like broke guys with great personalities.
Absolutely.
Of course, you're going to want a rich guy with a great personality. Why wouldn't you? Like, it's like 2 + 2 is 4. Like, you know, like, why wouldn't you want both?
No, of course. As I said, money is good. It's good to have money.
Plus, it's like, you want to fly middle seat on Spirit the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Fucking, hey, babe, we got 57F. Where's our seats? Look in the
that,
binoculars.
If you're used to that, it's fine. But if you experience something bigger and something more, then it's hard to go back to Spirit Airline.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
You know. But, yeah, I know. I get it. It's hard. It's hard to find a good person that looks good and has a great personality.
And isn't either already taken or just fucking around because they have so many options at that point.
Yeah, especially here in LA. You gotta go to Croatia.
Maybe.
I don't know what to tell you.
My
Gotta
future
introduce
wife.
you to a few of
Yeah,
my
introduce
friends.
me to your friends.
I have you. I think that you will like them. Who knows?
What let me ask you this. So
I'm getting hot. This drink that you made, I don't know what's in there.
it's just, roofies and that's all. Don't worry about it.
All right.
So, do you like more? What do you think about traditional relationships versus more of the relationships nowadays?
Like
do you like, back in the day, it's like the guy takes the masculine role. He's more of like the breadwinner. He brings home the money, that kind of thing, and the girl takes a more feminine role, raises the kids, takes care of the household, things like that.
I would say balance. I like for the guy to be like the guy, the man. Like I'm old school like that. But I also, as I said in the beginning, I want for every woman to earn their own money and be independent in that way.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I grew up very
Traditional.
My dad is very old school. So he taught me, Zach, you take a girl on a date, like you're paying for it. And this like splitsies.
Yeah.
Like, hey babe, I sent you the Venmo request for like what the fuck? It's like
Yeah,
weird
I'm not for that. Like I think I should pay on a first date. 100%.
If I'm walking on the sidewalk, I walk on the outside. So, if a car comes, stop the car with one hand, protect my girl with the other hand.
That's amazing.
Masculine.
That's all the girl wants, honestly.
But then on the flip side, what I do have trouble finding is like, there's a lot of girls out there that want the boss bitch attitude. I'm Beyonce, I run shit, I'm a boss, right? And I'm like, cool. But if you want that attitude, then that comes with the responsibility of actually being the boss. You have to go work 16 hours a day to make a bunch of money. If something goes wrong at 3 a.m., you're the boss.
You're the boss.
Fix the problem.
Fix the problem. Exactly.
And it's like everybody wants the boss personality,
yeah,
but not the responsibility. And then on the flip side,
yeah,
you know, guys watch 3 Andrew Tate videos. Mm-hmm. They're like, I am the alpha. I'm like, what are you the alpha of? Are you the alpha of the Wendy's that you're the cashier at? What exactly are you the alpha
What's up with Andrew Tate? Is that his last name?
Andrew Tate.
What's going on with that? Like, all the young guys are obsessed with him.
Well,
Do you like him?
I like a lot of the stuff he says.
Okay.
And there's things I disagree.
I like a few things that he says.
Yeah. I think he takes some things too far. And to be honest, I think he knows what he's doing. I think he knows it's getting the clicks.
He's a smart guy. He's not stupid.
Yeah, yeah.
He's absolutely smart guy.
But he did tap into this fact that nowadays guys are being taught to be, for lack of a better word, pussies. Like they're being taught, be shy and emotional and tell your feelings. And
I think it's beautiful that guys can be emotional.
No.
No, they were wrong.
Okay.
That's where the tradition comes out of it. I think guy needs to show his emotional side as well as alpha side.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's say one day your husband comes home. He's like, babe, I just got laid off from my job, right? Mm-hmm. Scenario A, he starts crying. He's like, babe, what are we going to do? It's so hard. Wham. What are we going to do? And then the next day you come home, he's on the couch with a glass of wine, watching reruns of Love is Blind. Oh, my boss is so unfair.
That's me.
Yeah, I'm like, do you want that guy? Or do you want the guy that comes home? Babe, I lost my job. Yeah. I'm upset, but I'm going to take my emotions, stuff them deep down in my psyche where they belong. I'm going to man up and I'm going to fix the problem and get a better job or start that business we always talk about.
But I think it depends. I think I love when guy cries when he watches American Idol and he cries. You know what I mean?
American Idol.
I do like that. Or when he gets emotional about anything. But not the first scenario that you said. No, I don't want a guy who will come home crying and be like, "What the fuck?" You want him to cry about
stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah, I want sensitive side in a guy for sure.
Interesting.
And I know all people have that. Doesn't matter how strong you are, and it's good for you to let out that emotional side too.
I like stuffing them deep down.
Don't.
No, it's good for me. Yeah.
No.
See, people misunderstand trauma. Okay, everybody nowadays trauma. Go to therapy. Like, if you have real trauma, okay, you went to war and your best friend got killed in front of you and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's like actual trauma, like real trauma. But like nowadays trauma is like, oh, my mom hugged me too tight when I was a kid, so I have trauma and like I go to therapy. And
people are definitely too sensitive.
Yeah.
I think. I don't know. I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, people are definitely more sensitive than they ever were. Croatia, there's no sensitivity in Croatia. Mm-hmm. In Croatia, you're depressed. What's depression? What's anxiety? What are panic attacks? That doesn't exist. Psychiatrists, you don't go to psychiatrists. Psychologists, what the heck is that?
Well, you know the reason.
But that's also not good. That's my point. Like, I don't think that's good.
I think it is good.
You think that's good?
Because, okay, the interesting thing is, the highest levels of all this depression, anxiety, all this stuff, right, is in the richest countries in the world. All the countries with money, the U.S., parts of like Europe.
Well, Americans are very spoiled.
Yes. And
100%.
And that's why we have these issues. Because like, okay, if when you're 5 years old, you live in Venezuela and there's no water and you have to go walk 5 miles through the sweltering heat on your Android phone to the well to like, you know, get water for your family. It's like, when you're a teenager and your girlfriend breaks your heart, it's not that big of a deal. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
But in America, when you get last place in the basketball tournament when you're 5, and they say, and you're crying, they say, oh, it's okay, little Gen Z, little boo-boo. Let's ride bird scooters and talk about your feelings.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And usually people who you mentioned first, like in Venezuela, those kind of people will not have any trauma later on. They will be strong.
Strong, yeah.
Right? So it's interesting like that. Yeah, people are too, especially Gen Z. Oh my God, way too sensitive.
Very sensitive, yeah.
Cancel culture.
It's like you guys needed more bullying in schools. Like you guys need to get bullied a little bit, you know?
It's a little bit, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But it's not like that I think Europe is not like that, you know?
Interesting.
Yeah, it's very American.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the problem is then you just create weak people, and you think you're doing people a favor by saving their feelings when they're young, but then like, okay, you get last place in the basketball tournament when you're 5. Who cares? You get last place in your job in real life. You get fired because your boss says you're not doing anything for the company, and now you have real problems because you don't have any money coming in.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think there has to be a balance between those two things. I don't think it's good to stop everything in you and not cry, but I also don't think it's good to be oversensitive and highly offensive. Is that the right?
What I'm worried about with therapy is, okay, what if I go to a therapist and she helps me get rid of my trauma and I'm just happy all the time? Like, that would suck.
That would
just
suck.
Walk around just happy. Oh, look at the birds. Oh, it's such a beautiful day. Babe,
yeah.
Look how blue the sky
Again,
is.
that's not balance either. Like, there has to be a balance. You have to be sad. You have to be happy. That's the key for a happy life.
But don't you think trauma
Shapes you?
Yes, and it pushes you.
Yeah.
It teaches you lessons. Like a lot of people, I know so many girls in LA. I had one of my good friends. She like always dates these fuckboys. They always break her heart, and she gets really sad about it. And after like the 6th one, she starts dating this guy. He flies her out to Miami. He lives in Miami. And I tell her, I'm like, look at his Instagram. This guy is a fuck boy. Why are you still talking to him? Oh, blah, 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 blah. He's flying you out to Miami. He's probably flying 10 bitches out to Miami. That's how it is, right? And like, at some point, like, how much trauma do you need before you start learning from your trauma instead of ignoring your trauma? And say, oh, I got traumatized by the last 9 fuckboys. Okay, maybe I should look for the nice
limit?
guy.
Yeah,
like, you know what I
where's the
mean?
limit?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I guess she likes that.
She does.
You know, that's the answer to it.
And like, for example, like I don't have any real trauma in life, but my like
Good.
traumatic experience was like, I dated a girl, first girl I ever dated. I thought I was in love. We were going to get married. Blah, blah,
How old
blah.
you were?
Started when I was 17 and then went into college.
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah, first love.
So dated 3.5 years. I was the biggest simp, nice guy ever for this girl. This is going to make you cringe.
I feel like I saw that in you. I feel like she broke your heart and she made you turn around and kind of become this
So kind of.
F-boy, right?
Well, what happened was...
I knew it. It's so funny.
Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to talk about it in a second. Okay. So I used to literally in high school, because I was like so desperate to get a girlfriend, because I was so shy that awkward around girls.
Were you a late bloomer?
Yeah. I was like 5'1" when I was a freshman. Like, I was not good. And I was like a stick. I looked like Woody from Toy Story, fucking like wrangling around. And I was so happy to have a girlfriend that I just did everything for her. I would wake up. You're gonna cringe so hard. Okay. I would wake up at 6 a.m. every Monday, and I would drive to the Walmart between our houses, and I would buy a pack of the purple Skittles, because purple's her favorite flavor, the purple bag, and some flowers, and I would write a note and I'd like leave it on her doorstep for her to find, like surprise her. You know what I mean?
Oh gosh.
So I did that shit for 3.5 years.
Wow, long time.
And 3.5 years later, we're in college, right? And I get a call from my buddy. And he's like, yo, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but I went at a party last night. I saw Julie and this guy go into this room for like half an hour by themselves. I don't know what happened. Everybody's saying they hooked up, right?
No.
So I'm like, no, bro, we're in love. She would never do that to me. I'm like an idiot, right?
Yeah.
So the next day I go confront her. And I'm like sitting at her door and I'm like shaking. I'm like fucking nervous. And I knock on the door and she opens it. And I knew it was true right away, because instead of saying, oh my God, you came and like surprised me at college, right?
She was upset.
She was like, what are you doing here? Like that.
Oh, red flag.
And the thing that bothered me the most is the guy that she cheated on me with was the guy she would always complain about. He's such an asshole. He's hooking up with 2 of my friends at the same time behind their backs. Blah, 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 blah.
She was preparing her territory. She was preparing, like, you know.
Exactly.
She was trying to convince you that nothing's going to happen between them.
No, but actually, I think she actually did not like the guy. But then that's just human behavior. A lot of girls They don't like the assholes, but they're attracted to the assholes.
Yeah.
Because they have this kind of bad boy, don't give a fuck attitude, right?
Yeah.
And I still remember the last thing I ever said to her. I was like, Julie, I told her, I would do anything to make you happy. I just want to know why. And she looked at me dead in the eyes. She went like this. She like shrugged her shoulders. And she was like, I just got bored. And that moment, I was like, I will never be this fucking loser, simp, pushover guy ever again in my life.
That changed you. Yeah.
It did change me.
Yeah.
And then for the next 8 years, became a fuckboy.
I get it.
Worked on my business.
Yeah.
Was like, I'm going to become
Start
ultra
working
successful.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But my point is, now I'm very entertaining and I'm very engaging and I'm no longer boring because I had that experience and this trauma.
Yeah. So that trauma made you stronger.
It made me better.
It made you better. Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying, Pete. Like, I don't want to take away my trauma.
Yeah.
I actually miss the days when I was more hungry. Like now I've kind of like made it. I'm kind of like doing well. Like I miss being just like the chip on my shoulder. I'm just going for it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
interesting.
That's why I never go to therapy.
Yeah. I think you should still. It's fancy to go to therapy. Who knows what you might discover.
It's in right now for sure. The other thing that sketches me out is most people I know that go to therapy, they've been going to therapy for like
Forever.
6 years. I'm like, you
Then
still
you have
didn't
to
figure it
stop.
out.
It's done.
You still never 6 years?
I
Like
say for the maximum you should go to therapy is like probably a year. After that, if you're still the same person, or what happens with people is like they've been going for so long because they start to be dependent on their therapist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is not good. So that therapist should be like, listen, you start being dependent on me. This is time when you need to leave. You know what I mean? That's what happens a lot. And no, 1 year max. That's it.
I agree.
No longer than that.
I was dating this OnlyFans girl one time.
Oh gosh.
And and she went to this therapist, right? And after 6 months of dating her, I was like, okay, you still have this anxiety. Nothing's getting better. And I have 0 therapy degree. I have 0 experience in this world. But I can tell you 100% why she had anxiety, because I'm smarter than the therapist. Every morning she'd wake up. She would take her vape in one hand and her phone in her other hand. And she would look at TikTok 2 inches from her eyeballs for 4 hours and fucking suck in nicotine like it's oxygen. And I'm like, that's why you have anxiety. Like, you need to go to the gym. You don't need to go to the therapist.
Gotta take a walk.
So then I told her that. And the next week she's like, so Zach, I told my therapist what you said. He wants you to come to our next session. So I'm like, oh, fuck. What did I do? Right.
Interesting.
So I go into their therapist's office, right? And the first half hour of the session, he's like telling me like, I'm the one who's toxic for her. It's my fault. Like I'm, causing this trauma in her life and all this kind of things.
That, I can't believe he said that. Wow.
Well, here's what I realized.
The
Halfway
real
through the
therapist
session,
will never do that. Would
Well,
never
that's the
drag
thing.
another person into this and blame you.
that's the thing. So
That's crazy.
I left halfway through. I stormed out because I'm like, okay, obviously this therapist trying to fuck my girlfriend. He's trying to like make me look bad, blah, blah, blah. And she runs out after me and she's like, what? I'm like, your therapist is trying to fuck you. It's so obvious. And she's like, Zach, first of all, he's not my therapist. He's my energy healer.
Oh.
And I was like, he's not even a real therapist. This Walmart brand, off-brand therapist is trying to fuck my girl in front of me.
Energy healers, they always try. Yeah, they always do.
I'm like, what is the qualifications to be an energy healer?
Gosh.
Like you climb to the top of a mountain, you get
Nothing.
struck by lightning, you're an energy healer now? I
God.
don't understand.
Well, oh my God, I totally know that type of person.
So now
Which I have nothing against energy. I mean, it's an amazing thing if you are able to do that. But yeah, I know exactly. I can picture him in my head.
Do you believe in energy healers? And like manifestation and all that?
Absolutely. I'm a huge
Really?
fan. Let me tell you.
We're going to disagree on this one.
Well, oh,
Yes.
I love it. Well, let me tell you. Week before your assistant reached out to me, I was in my car and I was driving and I was like, oh my God, it would be so nice to be on a podcast. Like, I really want to do that. And a week after that, boom, she reached out to me on Instagram.
Interesting.
Right?
So I
was like, wow, that was freaking fast. It's amazing. I'm huge on manifestation. Huge. My whole life is my manifestation.
What's the last thing you've manifested other than the podcast? Like, what's a big thing in your life you manifested?
Like jobs, opportunities. Every year I make like a vision board. Have you heard about vision boards? Yeah. I would say like 80% of my vision board came true for me in this last year.
Okay, so.
Oh, trust me, it's a real thing. It's a quantum physics.
It's a real
scientifically proven that it works.
For hot girls, yes.
No, for
but not
everyone.
For ugly people.
Please don't say that. For everyone. For everyone.
Okay.
It's huge. I'm huge on this.
Here's the thing. I've seen hot girls manifest crazy shit. I've seen hot girls, private jet, boom, get a DM the next day, they're on a private jet. Tulum,
well,
boom,
I know what you're going to say, but okay.
If you're an ugly person, you can say private jet for days. It's not happening. You're not going on a private jet from the universe. Like, you could work for 20 years of your life and finally say
that's how you can manifest it.
But that's not manifesting. That's just like doing things.
Well, listen, I'm not saying that that's how it works. I'm not saying I'm going to sit here and meditate on my manifestation and expect them to happen. That's not how it works. Like, you need to actually do some action in order to receive things that you want to happen. Okay. So no, like I'm not going to be like,
okay, in that case,
I'm not going to tell you that, but you know.
So I had a friend one time and she said she manifested moving to Los Angeles. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. I was like, so like, how'd you get to Los Angeles? And she's like, yeah, well, I'm like thinking about it. And then I'm manifesting, I'm envisioning myself. And now I'm in Los Angeles. See, it worked. I'm like, no, but how did you get to Los Angeles? She's like, what do you mean? I'm like, okay, you didn't walk here. How did you get here? Oh, I took a plane. Okay. So I'm like, so you went on Google, you typed in flights to Los Angeles, and then you put in your credit card, and you came to Los Angeles. Is that manifestation? To me, it just seemed like you bought a flight. You know what I'm saying?
But how else would you get to LA?
But then
you're not going to teleport.
I know.
We're not there yet, dude.
Like, but then what's the difference between manifestation and just doing things? Like, did I manifestation? I went to the bathroom this morning because I fucking walked down the stairs and I had to pee.
I think with manifestation, things appear to you, and then it's up to you to take an action on them, if that makes sense.
Okay. So, like, what's something that has appeared to you?
This podcast. Many things. Oh my God, my whole life is my manifestation. I mean, where do you want me to start? Like, it's everything from my love life to my career to money to the car that I'm driving to the house that I'm living, my friends, my family, everybody's healthy, I'm healthy, everything, like everything.
But like, I don't know why you're giving the universe credit for this. Like,
dude, universe is everything.
No. It's the opposite.
Who is
you did it. You did it.
But we are universe.
What?
We are part of universe.
I mean, I guess.
We are universe.
I do reverse manifestation is my favorite kind of manifestation. It's anti-manifestation. This is what works for me. Okay. Most people say visualize, imagine yourself like with all this money and like getting your success, right? I do the opposite. So I'll manifest myself, imagine being broke, right? And then I'll just picture myself like pulling up to a girl's house in like a, Honda Corolla. And I'm just like, beep, beep. Come on, babe. We're going to Applebee's. They got half price apps tonight.
I'll tell you just this. Like, don't think about that too much because that'll happen if you start.
No, I've been doing that since I was like 20. And I get so scared that I'm like, I got to fucking work now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So that gave you motivation.
And the universe, it kept trying to put roadblocks in my way. And I was like, fuck you, universe.
And that's how it works. Yeah, but it's amazing. I mean, you are your own creator. You're the creator of your life. I'm not arguing with that. Absolutely not. I'm not saying that everything will come to you if you're just imagining things. Like, no, you have to put in the work. But opportunities will show up to you, and then it's up to you to take an action on that.
Yeah.
Of course.
I just think like instead of asking the universe for help, like make the universe your bitch. You know what I mean? And just fucking grind. Like no matter what the universe is gonna do, fuck you. I'm still gonna win.
But it's not even about, that's the thing with manifestation. It's not about what are you thinking. It's more about how you vibrating, how you feel. You know what I mean?
No.
It's
mine.
It's about the feelings that you have. Do you feel good? Do you feel healthy? Do you feel successful? The more successful, for example, you feel, the more success will come to you. That's how it works.
For me, it's the opposite. I'm dead serious. Like, if I'm not successful, then I'm hungry.
Yeah, that's amazing.
And then, like, you work because you're hungry. Like, imagine you're so hungry, you need food. You'll do anything for food. You'll fucking grind it, run to the grocery store, whatever. Versus, like, you're full. You're kind of like laying back. I have my food. I'm good. You know what I mean?
All right. Next time I'll come with a gift. I'll give you some nice book.
Yeah? What is it called?
For you to read. Well, I have few in my mind. I'll have to choose what's like the easiest for you to read as a first book.
Yeah. Do the picture book one.
Yeah, do like a little. Yeah, exactly. No, it's real, man. Yeah, trust me, 100%.
Do you believe in karma?
I don't believe in karma as people presenting karma. What people think karma is. Like, oh, if I do bad in this life, in the next life, you know. I don't believe that. Well,
some people think that in this life, like, you do something bad and then something bad will happen to you like a month later because you, like, you know, did something bad before.
And it will if you think like that. So that's where it goes back to quantum physics and vibration. It's going to happen if you think it's going to happen.
What do you mean it's proven by physics?
Well, I'm going to tell you this. Like, you should look into Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Okay.
I love him. I've been obsessed with him for a few years now, and he's a neuroscientist, he's a doctor, and he's all about law of attraction, healing yourself with your own mind. It's amazing. You should look into him, and then we'll talk next time.
I'll check it out.
Yeah,
we'll do round 2.
Please do. You have to be open to these things to, you know, for them to see they're working.
Maybe.
You have to, otherwise you're not gonna.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm all for setting goals and taking the appropriate steps to reach your goals. I just don't like the universe. You know, the universe pisses me off. Like, no.
Why?
Because it always tries to take credit for everything. You know.
Do you believe in God?
No.
What do you believe in?
Like things. This planet. I don't know.
How are we here?
I mean, I don't know. It's probably evolution and everything else. Do you believe in God?
Yeah.
God as in the Christian sense?
Yeah, I grew up as a Catholic. I think 99% people in Croatia are Catholics. So, you know, as I'm getting older, I'm not really into religion as, you know, oh, there's a God, he's going to punish us or this and that. I'm believing more in a universe, in this creation that created us.
Okay.
That's what I believe in.
So do you believe in the Bible?
I've never read a Bible, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Maybe I should. There are some good stuff in there.
So do you believe God is a person up there that like interacts with our lives and everything, or you just think of it like it's like just energy? It's
energy.
Well, then I believe in God because like I turn on the light and like the electricity goes and like.
Well, that's human made, I guess, right? But no, you know, when you feel something deep in your core, that's how I feel.
But you don't think that it's plausible that all of our emotions are just chemicals mixing in our brains in a certain sequence that causes us to feel happy or sad or feel like there's something bigger or feel these emotions?
Yeah, I think that's part of it. But, you know, I always go back to like, how do you explain people who remember their past lives, for example? Or how do you explain mediums, people who talk to dead people?
No, you don't
believe that?
No.
Well,
I've never seen it.
It's amazing. It's amazing stuff, and that kind of things really makes me believe in something bigger than us.
But mediums, like why haven't they tested that? And like, oh wait, there's a medium that we just proved he's like true. Like what? Like let's take a medium, right? Tested? Okay, let's take a random medium that doesn't know who I am, right? Mm-hmm. And I say, hey, talk to one of my grandparents. Mm-hmm. Oh, what was my grandparent's favorite song? What was his favorite song? See if they can get it.
Well, that's very, I don't think it works like that. I think people who are able to talk to that people or see them or whatever, feel them, it's not like, oh, what was his favorite color or what car was he driving or whatever.
Okay.
I think it's more about the information that they're sensing in that given moment when they're with you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
No, it's huge. Oh my God, I can't believe you don't believe in those
I
things.
don't. I've never seen
I think you're blocked. I think you need to open up yourself to those things. And I'm not saying this in like some witchy kind of like weird, cuckoo,
like
delulu way.
Yeah,
you know, I'm not. But it's amazing stuff.
I wish my co-host was here because he would agree with everything you're saying.
Agree.
Yeah, we always argue about it. We always argue about it. I live in this thing called reality.
Yeah.
And I see things and I hear things and I'm like, there's a chair over there. Okay, I can prove it. I touch the chair, boom, there's a chair, right? Like.
So you believe in things that you can see, that you can touch, that you can feel, that you can basically see, right?
Yes, because the problem is, okay, let's take God for example, right? Because I grew up very religious, right? And I remember one time thinking, okay, well, my parents are telling me God is real. How do I know God is real? Well, you have to have faith. Okay, fair enough. But then there's this Muslim family that says, no, Allah is the real God. Mm-hmm. And their kid says, well, how do I know Allah is real? Oh, well, you have to believe in faith. Mm-hmm. So now I have two different people, plus every other religion, who's saying these different things, which none of them are provable. So why is my parents' view the right view and their view is the wrong view? There's no evidence for any of them.
I don't think there's right or wrong views. It's all how you make it.
But they can't be right.
Everything comes to, at the end, everything comes to what you believe in.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not...
So like...
It's about perspective too, you know what I mean? It's like... You may believe in one thing and that can be so truth for you that you're seeing that, you're feeling that, whatever. But then I live in a different perspective and I don't see those things. So it's all about you and your perspective and your own life at the end.
So are you saying more so you literally believe in it? Or are you saying it's more of a mental model of the world that you've created for yourself that helps you live life better? Or do you literally believe there's a God? Both.
Yeah. And,
so
and why do I believe in it is because I've got so many confirmations. You know, it's not like I believe in something and it didn't come true, but I still believe it. Like I'm a proof that those things really work, and that's the way it is.
I guess maybe I've just never gotten proof.
Maybe because that's what I'm saying. I think you're very blocked. I think you really need to open up yourself to those things.
So let me ask you this, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say, okay, I start a business, it becomes successful, right? Okay. So I say, oh, it became successful because like, let's say it was a restaurant, right? Mm-hmm. Well, I went to the restaurant, I bought the space, I paid for the designer, we got it designed, I put in the tiling, I hired the employees, I marketed it, and now a lot of people come in because I have a successful business. So I say, okay, that's why it's successful. And you say, well, it's because God helped you make this successful business. But like, there's no proof. Like, how would you know that it was God? You know what I mean?
That's the same thing when doctors save somebody's lives and that person says, oh, thank God. And then the doctor is on the other side going like, what the heck? I just saved your life.
Yeah.
But I think God works through you. That's my answer.
Okay. Do you think God has a plan for all of us?
You mean like destiny?
Yeah.
I think you create your own destiny.
Okay. So God doesn't control it.
I think maybe some parts, like maybe people who are in your life, circumstances, maybe some parts, but I really believe that you're your own creator and you can make whatever you want to make. Mm-hmm.
And by the way, I hope God is real.
Yeah,
I do.
Of course.
I just I just don't
but
have
why
evidence.
Why would you live in a belief that God isn't real? Why would you believe in why would you believe in that there's no heaven after you die? Would you rather believe the whole life that when you die there's nothing, there's emptiness, there's darkness, or there's nothing?
But I don't think anybody truly believes in heaven and hell in the world. I don't think there's a single person.
Oh no. There's so many people.
But because here's what people say they do. And maybe they even think they believe it, but they don't actually believe it. Okay, let's say you got kidnapped, right? And the kidnapper was like,
I love this.
He's like, hey, here's what's going to happen, right? For the next 7 days, right, I'm going to give you this book, and it's a rule book. If you follow every single rule in the rule book, I'll let you go and you get $1 million. If you don't, I'm going to start torturing you if you break any of the rules, right? You'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm never breaking a single rule. I'm going to be paranoid. I'm going to read this book front to back 100 times, right? But in real life, we have the Bible. And people like, oh, I can't come to church this Sunday because like the football game's on. I'm like, do you actually believe in heaven and hell? But you're going to skip church? You're going to risk going to hell and burning for eternity because the football game's on? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I don't believe in that. I don't believe in hell.
Oh, okay.
Oh, God, no.
What do you believe in?
In heaven.
In heaven.
I believe in reincarnation. I truly believe in that. And even if it's not truth, I would rather live my whole life in that belief.
No, I would too. I would too.
What I mean? Like, it's better.
I agree with you.
Even if all of this, what I just said, is not true, and I somehow got lucky and I manifested things because I was lucky or it was just meant for me.
Yeah.
I would rather believe in in manifestation and God and heaven, afterlife, and than opposite.
I mean, I agree with you, but the problem is like, okay, so let's say I'm like, yeah, I want to believe in heaven, right? But I don't actually believe in it. So how do I make myself believe something that I don't believe?
Yeah.
Like, do I just say it in the mirror 10 times every morning?
No,
like,
yeah. That's a good point. Like, you truly have to believe in that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You need to be more open to that. Like, you need to read a few books, watch a few podcasts, not be so closed-minded in that regard towards those kind of things. Like, you really have to open up yourself.
I suppose I am very skeptical
because you are very skeptical,
yes.
And when you approach things with in that way, it's very hard to change your opinion.
Yes,
it's very hard. It's like in politics. Like, if you believe in one thing, then that's all you believe. You can debate 100 million times with 100 different people. You're not going to change your views, right?
Yeah, so, I see what you're saying.
So you have to be.
There is a fine line between being like open-minded and then being so open-minded that your brains fall out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying that about you, by the way.
No. Again, balance.
Because if you're too open-minded, then it's just like, oh, you're just like easy to be manipulated because you just believe everything.
Oh, no.
But if you're too closed-minded, you never change your opinion on everything. You never look for new information, things like that. Yeah.
Balance.
I just like, so far in my life, I haven't seen any evidence that it's real. And I've seen plenty of evidence to believe the things that I believe. So maybe I just need something to happen to me, like,
Well, you need to start believing in order for things to happen.
But that's what I'm saying. How do I start believing? Just say it 10 times in the mirror when I wake up every day?
What I just said, like, you need to read a few books, you need to watch a few podcasts. You need to be open when you have conversation with people like I am to hear those things, not be skeptical, because it can be life-changing. And I'm not saying your life is probably great right now and everything is good, but why not always try to achieve more and be better than you are now?
Man, I wish my co-host was here.
I know. What
it would
the
have been
heck?
the best conversation because he loves all this
we would
stuff.
Attack you like 100%.
Oh yeah, it would have been a 2-on-1. I like the debate podcast though. They kind of get my energy up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not really. I don't like debating people, to be honest with you.
I do. Yeah,
I'm not really into debating.
Okay.
My husband is. Oh my God, he loves to debate.
Interesting.
I always step out. I'm like, if I can see that I cannot change your point of view or anything, I'm just like, okay, there's no point. I'm not gonna waste my energy on what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the point is just like fun. It's just like, I don't know. It feels like verbal sparring.
Yeah, I get it.
But I'm also like a competitive person.
Yeah. What's your zodiac? Did
Pisces,
I ask you?
Pisces.
Oh, you're Pisces, like
best
my mom.
one, yeah.
Well, you just had birthday then.
No, it's coming up.
Oh, it's coming up.
Couple weeks, yeah.
Okay, nice.
18th, yeah.
Pisces. Okay.
Yeah. But again, even with the signs, right? Like Pisces is supposed to be the emotional crybabies.
No, not really. You're very rational.
I am. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't actually believe in signs, for example. I think signs are very fun.
Okay, I was about to ask you because everything that you said so far. I was like, does he believe in? Why did you ask me to say what my star sign?
Because so signs.
That's so funny.
I have this theory.
I was like, oh God, oh wow, this guy believes in all of that.
So the interesting thing about signs is if you go to LA, New York, Miami, Las Vegas, everybody believes in signs. Oh, what's your sign? Or what's your zodiac, right? if you go to any like small town, if you go to Wisconsin where I'm from, people look at you like you're dumb. If you're like, oh, are you a Pisces? The fuck you, Scorpio? Mercury's in my retrograde.
Yeah.
And my theory is it evolved where places where networking is very important is where people believe in signs. Because it's a great networking tool where when you're talking to somebody, instead of saying, oh, what do you do? Oh, like I'm a nurse. Cool. Like, what do you like about nursing? I don't know. Like
this and that.
It's a boring conversation.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. It kind of opens up.
Yeah, it allows you to talk about personality, your
yeah.
likes, your dislikes, everything else.
Yeah, I get it.
So that's my theory on signs.
Yeah. I kind of believe in signs, though.
I know. So
obviously. I do. I don't know.
But then look at you. You're not toxic at all. Allegedly not.
Well,
toxic.
I don't think Sagittarius are toxic.
Yeah.
I think we're very, well, maybe your two experiences that you had. But I think we're very open-minded, very optimistic, love to travel, just I think we're a very positive sign overall.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, it's not.
I think you guys are fun for sure.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Fun.
All right, Petra, we are about out of time.
Yeah.
Got a couple of rapid fire questions for you.
Okay.
Favorite food?
Anything Italian.
Ooh. Have you been to Jones? It's like 2-3 blocks from here.
No, Jones?
Yeah.
Is that
Italian
the name of
place.
the restaurant? No.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well, I don't come on this side of a town that much.
What part of the town are you in?
Toluca Lake, Burbank.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So I'm not really here that much.
Makes sense. Next travel destination you haven't been to but you want to go.
Tibet.
Ooh, interesting.
Oh, absolutely.
Because of the monk thing, like meditation, manifesting?
Yeah, that whole place I've been drawn to since I was a little kid. So that's on my top of a bucket list.
It's very unique.
It
Most
is.
girls, Italy,
Yeah,
Greece.
I lived in Italy, for a long time.
I see.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, this has been fun. Where can people find you? Any social media you want to give a shout out
Instagram, Petra Semes. That's it. TikTok,
Awesome.
I'm not that active on TikTok. I'm barely active on Instagram, to be honest with you, but maybe I can gain some few followers.
We'll tag you in the comments for sure.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for listening.